Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the What the Wealthy Do podcast summer series. I am your host, Stephanie Dorsey, the CEO and co-founder of Margins Capital, an investment firm that provides women and people of color access to an institutional quality portfolio of alternative investments. I am so excited about this week's episode. We are revisiting the Wealthy Framework. Yes, Margins Capital's proprietary Wealthy Framework. And this is gold. This gives you concrete, actionable strategies that the wealthy people use to build and protect their money. Whether you're just starting your wealth journey or you're already on your way, this episode will give you the clarity you need. So before we get started, like we do every week, I want to remind you that this podcast is intended to give financial education and not financial advice. So let's dig in. Wealth doesn't start with income. It starts with intention, right? We all know plenty of people earning six figures or more that are living paycheck to paycheck, making terrible decisions. We know them. Oh my God, we know these people. And then we know people who make a lot less and they are fine, right? And it's really about how you manage the money you got and not checking for, oh, well, if I had more, whatever, my life would be different, yada, yada, yada. It's really about managing what you got to the best of your ability, being a good steward over what you have, and then you will be a good steward over more. So, first key, I am going to talk around what this word is, partially because I think this word is thrown around to Black folks to tell them this is why you're not making enough money. It's because you don't have a budget. You're not doing this appropriately. And actually, when you think about all the advice that's given to us, it's around budgeting, and it's so freaking annoying because yes, it is very, very important to know where your dollars are going, but it's not the only thing, right? It's not the only way to build wealth. It just ain't. So anyway, the wealthy would call it perhaps a spending plan or a capital allocation plan. So call it whatever you want. The point is you do need to know how much money is coming in and how much money is going out, and be intentional about the money that is going out. It's that simple. Okay. And frankly, I'll say this, even though I think it's very clear that if you don't know where your money is going, if you're not intentional about where you are allocating your dollars, then it can get away from you. And I remember there's this wonderful story. My business partner and I, we had gone out to lunch and we went to this restaurant that I really love in DC, and we split the bill. And when she got the bill, she reviewed her bill. When I got it, I put my credit card down, I signed it, I didn't even look at it. But then I noticed, I'm like, oh my God, she is like literally reviewing this bill to make sure it's right. And then she had a question. We had gotten extra cheese on whatever. Anyway, she had a question about a line item that was on the bill, and she asked the waiter about it. Now, fortunately, the bill was correct, but it taught me something because even over, 15 years later, I still remember this. And my mother used to say, if you take care of the change, the dollars will take care of themselves. Something like that. My mother had a whole bunch of isms, but that's essentially the point, right? You really need to be thoughtful and take care of the dollars that you have, the change that you have. And then ultimately, if you get in the habit of doing that, then the dollars will take care of themselves. And then the three figures, the four figures, 5 and 6 figures will take care of themselves. So, yes. Number 2 is taking advantage of corporate benefits. If you work for a job that offers a 401k, especially a 401k with a match, like that is literally free money, right? So a lot of companies, if you put at least 3% or 6% of your salary into the 401k, they will match you up to 6%. That is like, so then that turns into 12% that you're investing in your 401k. There are other corporate benefits that you could take advantage of to help you invest or grow your money. And so I think that's number 1. Take advantage of these corporate as well as basically tax advantaged accounts, right? Because that's another reason why you want to invest in your 401k, because you get to make your salary smaller because you get to take money out of it pre-tax before it gets taxed. So if you make $100,000, you invest 10%, that brings your salary down to $90,000, and you will only get taxed on $90,000 as opposed to $100,000. And so these are advantages that we should be taking advantage of. Number 3, This is learning how to manage your debt responsibly. Oh my God, the people that talk about, oh, you shouldn't have debt, rah, rah, rah. Those are the people that say, do as I say, but not as I do. Debt is not bad. You just got to know how to use it responsibly. If you get into one of those doom loops of running up your credit card bill, paying it off, running it up, paying it off, like that can be a problem. If you end up overextending yourself by buying a house you can't afford or buying a car you can't afford through financing, that is less than ideal. However, the wealthy use debt all the time. A lot of the times they use debt to invest more, to buy appreciating assets. But regardless, they use debt. And it's okay for you to use that. It's okay, girl. Don't feel bad about mortgaging your house, getting the mortgage to get your house. Like a lot of us, that's the only way that we can improve our financial standing. And so that is okay. It's okay that you had to get student loans to go to college. I did too. I'm still paying off my law school and my business school student loans. I'm the first generation college graduate. I don't feel bad about that. I don't care. The life I lead today, especially the job I have today, including the freedom to even decide, like, I'm gonna start a podcast, and to have the time to start this podcast is because of the financial investments I made in my education. So debt is not bad. And don't let the fools tell you that debt is bad, because they in debt too. That's another thing. They try to say, oh, you all are in a terrible situation because you have too much debt. Maybe, maybe not. Number 4, now that you know where your money is going, you've started to invest into your 401k and took advantage of the different corporate benefits that you have, you are using debt responsibly. Now it's time for you to start making sure you have a decent savings. You should have, the rule of thumb is 3 to 6 months of cash on hand. You should save as much as you think you need. You can also be like a lot of wealthy people trust that, yes, some of them, they have cash in hand, but a lot of their cash is in what's considered a cash equivalent. And whether it's in treasury bills or something like that, where they can get access to it quickly, CDs even, so that you just don't have all of the cash sitting around not working for you. And if you decide, like, no, I like to have cash, make sure that the cash is sitting in a high yield savings account rather than a checking account at some regular bank that's only going to pay you 0.0001% on the balance. Also, you don't have to do these things necessarily sequentially. You could be working these angles all at the same time. Yeah, you could be building up your savings and paying down your student loan debt at the same time. Certainly, right? You could be building up, investing just enough in your 401k, and you go up every year. And that is totally okay while you are also paying down credit card debt. So I'm saying like they're sequential, but they're not sequential. These are just things that you need to be doing in whichever order makes sense to your daily life. If you're at a place where you're like, okay, girl, I got all this information and I still don't know where to get started, you should look into joining me and some amazing women in the Sovereign Collective, where we are collectively working together to support each other on our own independent wealth journeys. You can look us up at joinsovereign.co, where we are holding each other accountable and supporting each other as we build the investment portfolios of our dreams. All right. So now, though, we got our savings, we doing all right. Now it's time for you to recognize you need to start making money while you sleep. And you do that by investing. Because listen, you can't save fast enough to beat the returns that will come from investing. And so now you can either open up a brokerage account, open up an IRA. A Roth IRA is probably ideal. And that's because a Roth IRA, I'll have a podcast on this one, but a Roth IRA, you pay the tax today, and you don't have to pay taxes on the growth of your account in the future. So we like our Roth IRAs, but there are some idiosyncrasies and things to know about it. So be on the lookout for that podcast coming forward. But yeah, it's time for you to start. You got a couple extra dollars. Let's start investing them. And then you need to think about protecting what you build. And I mentioned that wealthy are definitely going to protect what they build. And you're going to do that by creating an estate plan. That estate plan should at least have a will, a healthcare directive, a power of attorney, and if it makes sense for you, a trust. Again, a lot of people throw the term trust around, and admittedly, I do have a trust for my little one. I have a daughter. I don't know if you need one, but I do know you need to have an estate plan. And so when you talk to a lawyer, you tell them what your goals are, you tell them what you want to do. They will tell you whether or not you need a trust. But it's not that hard. And yes, you should probably be spending between $3,000 to $5,000 on it. And it seems like really kind of intense, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. And I will do another podcast on that, explaining why it's worth it. But we only got 15 minutes, remember, so we're going to move on. The last thing, after you have your estate plan are in order, you should be thinking about what I call kind of next level investing, and that is investing in alternative assets. And so alternative assets are your things like it is crypto, it is commercial real estate, it is venture capital, private equity, natural resources, if you are into that thing, fine art, if you're into that thing, making movies, you want to invest in movies, all of those type of things. I call them next level investments. And a lot of people will call them that because they have a different risk profile and risk benefit profile than investing in the stock market. But you will see that a lot of people of note, like the CEO of Blackstone, I believe it was, just stated that nowadays everyone should consider having some alternatives in their investment portfolio. So we'll talk about it. So that's it. And so as you get more money, you're just going to cycle through those 7 things, right? The thing about what the wealthy do is, yes, there are cheat codes, and just know, like, you know, they got a lot of money. Like somebody who is ultra high net worth individual is worth at least $30 million. So they're going to be spending tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars for accountants, business managers, tax strategists, lawyers, and the like to ensure that they are taking advantage of all the different loopholes and things that come out. And we're going to talk about some of those. But no, the loopholes change. The rules of the game change, which is why we're never going to run out of stuff to talk about on this podcast. But the high level strategies remain the same. And what I just broke down to you, high level strategy. You start doing that, you are ahead of the game. You're in the 95th percentile of managing your money. All right, these strategies are the foundation of the wealthy framework. If you master them, everything else becomes possible. So just pick one, just one, and start there. Small, consistent moves will lead to massive wealth. Just a reminder, these strategies and more are what we talk about in the Sovereign Collective, a curated room of Black women who are focused on building wealth, and they're already on their way, and they're just looking for the right space to be in. So if you're interested, you can apply at joinsovereign.co/apply, and I hope to see you in the room. All right, let me know what strategy you're tackling first, and I'll see you next week. Bye.